Howdy, howdy. Hi, how's everyone doing? Let me know how the music is for you, if you need me to turn it up or turn it down. I'm a bit, like, overwhelmed brain-wise today, so I turned it down a little bit on my end and then tried to turn it up a little bit for you guys. But you let me know. You let me know how we're feeling on the music, if we want this turned up or turned down. Hello, hello. Oh, Juliaria. Hi, Spin Up. Hi. Oh my gosh, everyone. Hi. How's it going? How's everyone doing? How are we all feeling? Just remembering what brush I was using. I kind of left this one for a little bit, and I'm coming back and trying to finish it up a little bit more, so do bear with me while I just test these. Yeah, that's feeling good. Scooch my tablet a little bit. There we are. Sounds good. I think it sounds good. Everything sounds good to me. Amazing. I'll BRB, says Spin Up. Well, we will be excited when you return. Fantastic. Sorry if you heard a little bang there. That was me just scooching my microphone a little bit, just so it's not in the way. Just so we can minimize me accidentally hitting it, because let's be honest, that is my speciality move at this point. So I'm just doing that. And I've got a bit of a monitor sitch at the minute, so I'm also just making sure I have the chat on my phone as well. Great. So if you folks remember, this is Megisa Osuntuyi, who was created by Rotio, who was my top pick from the Golden Bone art event. There is a live stream of that in the live section on the channel if you haven't seen it. But basically a bunch of very talented folks designed characters for Golden Bone, both Ordo Electi and both Ornata and Wardens. And Megisa is now canon, and I realised I had not drawn him yet, so I am in the process of finishing up this drawing. I think he's a really neat character. I was really pleased with it, so I'm just hoping to do their lovely design justice. Oh no, wait! I think I might have got Megisa's creator muddled up with someone else. Let me check. I don't want to. I'm so terrible with names. No, that was the username. Okay, good. Right. So yeah, we're just kind of cleaning him up. I've realised because of the angle that I did him at, that this like very cool looking like scratch on his chin and also the earring isn't going to be visible. I'm going to add the necklace and the strap on his cape later after we've done underneath. But I figured we'd probably sort some stuff out first. Maybe I'll give him like another little nick or scar on this side just so we can see a cool scar. And same with the earring. I don't know if they intended it to be just like a cool singular earring, but maybe I'll stick one on this side just so we can appreciate it and enjoy it. I also, the colours aren't 100% yet, but I figured I'd slap some down just to kind of get a sense of where things are going to go, if that makes sense. I don't know what it is, but I'm really sound sensitive today, so I'm going to turn the music down a little bit for me. If it's too quiet for you, you let me know. Hi, Chats and Straylight. Hi. Right. So I've also been like playing around with colours and stuff like that, so you can see. Let me scooch the mic even more. I've been playing with like some nice blues and things, just kind of really make him pop a little bit. But I think right now what I want to focus on is just cleaning up some of this line art. So I'm going to get rid of a bunch of the colour here, because if I like carve into the next section a little bit and stuff, I don't want to. I'm going to make a backup as well. I don't want to lose anything. I do feel like the way I've done the hair has kind of changed the shape of the skull more than I'd like, so I might also... Yeah, look, that looks way too big. Let's, oh yeah, gosh. Let's start there. Let's get some of that head shape down. And how is everyone in chat doing? How are we with this fine day or eve? It's a very nice evening here in the UK. It's been really gorgeous weather all week, certainly where I am anyway. Yeah, maybe something more like that. Sorry, I was just adjusting my brush settings. There we go. Yeah, you can see I have this like original shape to the skull and I've kind of lost it a little. Not that obviously your hair is its own shape and all of that, but it very much feels like oh, I started this a little lighter. It very much feels like, because it's relatively closely cropped, it would follow the shape of his head a little bit more. Maybe I also put it just a little too high. It's alright, we're just going to keep chipping away at it until it feels right. Let's flip it back. Yeah, he's looking cool. I'm enjoying him. I have a name says it's so sunny. It is. It's really lovely and sunny at the minute. Right, let's switch back to my line art layer. I think we're going to go a little messier with this one, but I would like to tidy it up a scooch, you know, just a little scooch. And also I'm just kind of thickening up some of the line art. I want some like nice weight variation in there, if you feel me. Yo stream, yes, yo stream indeed. Yeah, we're probably going to stay a little rougher, I think, with this one. Kind of lean into that texture. Play around with line weight and thickness. Just kind of enjoy ourselves a little bit. I'm loving his expression, says Giuliaria. Thank you. Yeah, I am. Sometimes I will draw the same face over and over again, and it just, unfortunately, just like won't happen. And then sometimes I manage to get what's in my my brain out, and that always feels good. It's a great feeling. And I do feel like I had to kind of put these colours down just to remind myself that it is gonna look better. It is gonna look, you know, once you start adding the shading and all of that, it's really gonna make it pop. But sometimes I will stop doing a piece of art just to throw down some colours just to kind of help me remember the vision. You know, sometimes you also lose a little bit of steam, and it's nice to remind yourself who you're doing it all for. He's got a bushier eyebrow, so I might do a little bit more of a paint over when we start throwing down colour. It is really fun adapting someone else's design into this setting. This has been really fun. Just trying to make these eyebrows a little bigger. And then I can always do a paint over later if I really want to push them. Put, like, you know, push certain key features. With colour, he's gorgeous, says Straylight. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think I'm hopefully doing him justice. You know, he was, I was so flattered that so many people submitted their work, and I could tell he was made and designed with a lot of love and care, so I want to return the favour. I think I had it kind of like yeah, like that. Something like that? Yeah, I think he had like I kind of scrunched up his vest a little. You can see you know, I'm not being overly precious, but I am just trying to properly define certain sections. Yeah, so once again, just to re-inform anyone who maybe came in a little later, this is Mugisa Asuntuyu. He is the selected fan character from the art event a little while back, and I realised I'd not shown him appropriate love yet, especially given that he's canon now, so that's what we're doing. I'm just kind of tidying up some sketchy line art I did of him a little while back. I'm trying to get some line weight variation going as well, because I feel that really helps define these sorts of things. So he's got like a little satchel of some description here, doesn't he? I'm being very fiddle-faddly, I will admit, with like how I'm working on this. I'm just kind of chipping away at little bits that catch my eye. The Red Scholar says the perfect thing to procrastinate on my essay to. Oh no, don't procrastinate. I mean, I'm terrible at procrastinating, but I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to get better. doing my favorite thing where I define something by silhouetting it out and then erasing. I just really enjoy that. It's so fun. It just always really helps me feel like the design fidelity is kind of there. Let's procrastinate together, sister. Like, yeah. This hand isn't great. I was using a reference and then I kind of bottled it. You can always come back to it. It's just got to pass the across the room test, right? I kind of wanted this dynamic pose where he's kind of like tugging his cloak closer and looking all mischievous. Maybe get like some implied something like that, just to kind of imply the shape of the knuckles, maybe. I don't know. I think I'll define the rest of the hands first. Hi everyone, says Alex Simpkin. Hi. Hi. Yeah, I kind of pulled these two together and then these two hands. I don't know if I did as good a job as I could have, so I'm just trying to... I could see what past me was going for. Yeah, what is this? Okay. It's not a good sign when you say, what is this about your own work, is it? Because I know what he's doing. He's grasping the fabric. I'm just flipping the canvas real quick, because I think maybe if I introduce the fabric rolls a little better, that might help. Sometimes flipping the canvas is just so helpful for getting that edge. Yeah, maybe it's because I'm showing the little finger so much underneath. It might actually be better if I like... Oh, it's foreshortening, my greatest weakness. If you guys can kind of see what I'm going for, and then a little bit of this maybe. Don't worry, that's on a separate layer. It's just me trying to get the shapes. Yeah, we're just chipping away at it. There we go. And then, before I merge down, let's get this smaller brush, actually. Oh. Yeah. Kind of like that. And then you can kind of see what I'm going for. Not sure how I feel about those shadows. I'm not sure on the shadows. I think I'll leave a little bit in just to remind myself, because I'm trying to, like I said before, leave at least some of the texture and loose feel of the original sketch in, because I really like the original sketch I did. I want to experiment with something real quick, and we can always just hit undo, but I want to kind of emphasize those wrinkles maybe a bit more by like... If that kind of makes sense, like I'm trying to imply that it's bunched here as well. I don't know if that's better or worse, but we're going to stick with it. We're going to be bold with our choices. It's okay if I mess up a little bit. I need to remind myself of that sometimes. There you go. We're going to be doing a lot of painting on top of the line art as well, which will be fun because I do enjoy doing that sometimes. Makes me feel powerful. I'm going to just tweak my microphone back a little so I can see my screen better. There you go. Just help to find some shapes. Forehead's still feeling a bit. I think I made this bit a little too wide. If you kind of get my drift. Let's see. I'll leave it for now and then I can always tweak it later, because I feel like the colouring work is going to also do a lot of heavy lifting there. Okay, he's got like a little pouch. I like the little pouch. It's very cute. Kind of coming over like that. I'm not trying to do like a one-to-one. I'm doing like my own interpretation of the character. I think that's more interesting. So like I might give him a few extra belt loops or, you know, stuff like that, just to show it in my own style, to show he's really truly been adopted into the canon. Ooh, my contact lens is so dry. I might need to change into my glasses in a little bit. We'll see how we go though, because if I can, I'd like to leave my contacts in a little longer so I can... I find it easier to do like my skincare routine and stuff, especially because I'm like blind as a bat without my glasses on, to the point where I can barely see myself in like the mirror. I'll do like some belt loops to imply that's how they've gotten on the belt. I like how he's turning out though. I'm feeling good about this one. It feels like a good un. anyone been doing any art stuff recently? Feeling inspired? Doesn't have to be 2D, just anything creative. Making some time for yourselves, I hope. Redoing this collarbone section. Feels a little wonky. And also the chest as well, like the pectoral. Pectoral? Is that? Yeah, it's the pectoral, I think. Jeez. Can't remember body parts anymore. Please don't tell my life drawing teacher from way back. Let's firm up this line as well. Just so these parts feel cohesive. So the idea is that this, because I added like some fun lapels, because I thought that would be fun. The implication is that the lapels of the waistcoat are, on this side are like peeking out from underneath the cape, and then I'm gonna kind of jazz the cape up a little bit as well. If you can kind of see the vision. I think it's because this is a different shape. Yeah, I think that might be why it felt a little off there. So maybe if we, I'm just gonna stick this on a new layer real quick. Doesn't need to be perfect, but certainly I think introducing a similar shape will help. Yeah, we can work with that. Nice. And once again, colour, that's all going to add a lot to it. Line thickness, just playing around with that, that's going to help a bunch. Just little things like that. It's also nice to just kind of chip away at something and there not be any real, you know, pressure and kind of just chat a little bit. Sometimes it's what you need. It's been a long week and we're only halfway through, so I don't know about you guys, but I definitely needed it. It's definitely a little more graphical, which I'm enjoying. Okay, we should probably do the slits in the waistcoat. These very ill-defined dudes. To the point where this one didn't even join up. You could tell I was really hashing that one out. I was going on pure vibes, I think. something like that. Once again, the paint over is going to do so much heavy lifting here, I think. Cool, and then erase these little bits. Beautiful. Apply this as like really beat up leather. Maybe make this a little more whimsical, like a little sticky outy bits and stuff. And yeah, just define the outline of it a little more with the slightly thick brush. And then up and around. Maybe not quite there. Let's move it along just a scooch. Clear up this arm. I'm just kind of clearing up the junctions where things meet. Which sounds like a great indie band name now I'm saying it out loud. Doing the lower portion now, and then I think we can get to my favourite bit, which is colouring. I do love colouring. Oh, actually, yeah, we've got to clean up the bottom, and then I've got to add all these extras, like the earring and the rope and the bead necklace. One thing at a time, though. One thing at a time. He's got these very nice, like, pantaloon looking trousers. Big fan. Just, there you go. No, that was meant to be tidier. There we go. And I feel like the trousers should maybe be lower if they're more like harem pants. Just kind of imply the existence of the rest of the leg. Kind of an implied bit here down by the leg. My general tip for drawing fabric is to draw enough lines that it kind of passes. It's very much the orc. I think I've said before, like the Warhammer orc logic for me, where if you stick enough things on it until it looks like it should work, then you're fine. There you go, and kind of like the trousers there. I wondering if it would ruin the silhouette or enhance if we have like the other half of the cape. I think the other half of the cape does actually kind of break it up a little bit. I kind of like that. Because we're kind of fancying up this design, I'm also going to add like some hemlines and fun little details like that. Because I always really like little touches like that. They really make an outfit feel lived in. And add some little bits here. Just to kind of imply that, oh my god, my chat has not been updating. I am so sorry. I've just realised I missed a whole ton of chat. I am so sorry about that. Someone said, burnout has been hitting. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Straylight. That really sucks. Paradoxically been so burnt out, says the Red Scholar, but I'm pulling it through with my last projects for my creative writing masters. Oh, best of luck. Masters courses are no joke. That's massive props to you, honestly. Why my chat wasn't updating. I'm just catching up now. I do love the 1500s, 1600s influence your fashion designs have. Yes, I can't take credit for this one though. As I said, this is one that is now canon setting, but the original design, as you can see, is the one on the right. So yeah, I'm adding my own little flourish, but yeah, I do love the 1500s, 1600s aesthetics. I just got here. Says Denisovan, who's the handsome devil in the picture? Medal and Savior for drawing fabric, seam lines. Yes, 100% KYTY animation. And to answer your question, this is Megisa Osuntuyi, who was originally designed by another person, Arotio, and won the was the pick from the Golden Bone art event, which there is you can see the stream on my channel in the streaming section, and lots of very wonderful, talented people designed wardens who are like the non-powered individuals in the Ordo Electi in Golden Bone, and Ornata who do have powers, and yeah, I picked Megisa to be canon. I just thought he had not just a cool design, but a very cool like power, so he can kind of cup his. This is going to be the worst hand you've ever seen, because I have no reference and I'm bad at that. He can kind of do this. He can make the little okay thing and then like blow or just like fully cup his hand, and then he blows through the gap there and can like produce smells. And I just thought that's such a cool idea. Like he can throw hunting dogs off the scent and all sorts of cool stuff like that. I thought that was a really neat idea. And but I'd made him canon, and then I realised I hadn't shown him appropriate love. So that's what we're doing right now. We're showing this lovely guy some love. And then I did start to throw some colours down a little while back to help me with like placement and construction lines and all of that. And but we'll hopefully get onto at least a little bit of colouring. I'd like to get onto a little bit. I also threw down this nice blue background, and I think maybe that's how I think I will use a blue background. I think it complements his skin tone really nicely. But we will see. We're just kind of working stuff out. I think I also realised with his hair, double question mark, is that it actually comes out to the side a little more on the other side. Just while I'm looking at it. I do wonder if maybe... No, I think he looks okay like that for now. For now. In the least ominous way possible. And we're not making this too clean because I have been a fan of the, you know, I do like a looser line art style, and I think it adds a lot of texture. Got like his little wrinkled shirt. And then his pantaloons. Kind of pulled up here. There you go. He's getting there. He's definitely getting there. I think also I'll add like a thing here to just imply you know what I mean? Actually, let's do those on separate layers. Because I do like my construction lines. I'm a big fan of construction lines. I think they're neat. I just think they're neat. Kind of see what I'm going for, just to imply that the cape is like casting almost like ambient occlusion shadow. I don't know if that's better or worse. I think I've been staring at it for too long. Yeah, screw it, why not? Oh no, I'm second guessing myself, gang. Ah! Someone says on-demand aftershave as well. Oh yes, that's a really good point. Dennis Owen says, I honestly love the subtlety of the Ornata's abilities. It provides so much in terms of story. Yeah, I find that subtlety is much more interesting to me. Just from the perspective of like, it gives you a bigger direction to go. One of my, not always, but one of my key rules to myself, I'm just going to leave that shadow for now. I can always introduce it in the colour. For example, is I've never been keen on healing powers, or like, particularly like the main character with healing powers. If a big part of the series is there's meant to be lots of peril and adventure, for example, just because at that point you know the only person who's ever going to be in peril is the one who can like heal other people, because if they're unconscious they can't heal themselves. And so anytime someone gets hurt, I'm like, oh no, that's not going to last, that's fine. And so I was really mindful when kind of conjuring up the Ornata that I really wanted them to have really weird, wacky, wonderful, low-key stuff. And I feel like that also leans a little bit more into some of the themes I would like to use Golden Bone to explore, which is things about like utility and, you know, people with gifts kind of being forced to use them, like, you know, and be useful, and lots of themes I think we can all kind of relate to. The idea of like, if you're good at something, I think we can all kind of relate to it in like the gig economy, right? You have to find a way to monetize your skills, or, you know, what have you, that sort of thing. So I was kind of trying to create an analog that I think we could all like explore some stuff through. So hopefully I've done that. Hopefully. Maybe not. Who knows? I'm just a person on the internet, who knows? I'd been adding some extra belts just because I wanted to, like I said, I wanted to show my love for this design by kind of doing my own spin on it. I was wondering if to do like a little braided belt. There you go, something like that. I'm just gonna erase a few little sections. Ooh, that's, there you go. See what I'm going for? Something like that. Still a braided bell. And maybe like the implication of like a sash of some kind underneath, kind of holding the whole thing together. So maybe if I get rid of this. Have something here and like a you know, and it also gives me a chance to add like maybe a little bit of color variation to complement this really nice red cape that they designed him with. Yay! I'm feeling good about it. It feels good. Just tidying up some of the opacity and line weights a little, and then I think we're just going to start on some colour. Oh, shoot. That's like the third time I've forgotten to add those last little bits that I was going to add. The necklace and the earring and stuff. Right, let's get on it. Naughty me. Almost forgot. First things first. I don't know if the scar or the ear. The scar definitely is just on that side, and the earring I don't know if it was intended to be both. But I realised I drew him, as I said at the beginning of the stream, facing the other way, and then I was like, oh shoot, I still really like those elements of the design. So just this once, we're gonna flip him around. So that we can properly pay homage to him. And who knows, maybe he does have a little scar on the other side. Maybe we'll leave that, but we'll like give him a scar somewhere else that technically we didn't see on here. Maybe he's got like a scar like here on his chest or something. Just because I think gold scarring was like, I just really loved coming up with that for the Ornata. I think it's neat. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a duplicate layer because I'm about to start erasing a lot of stuff. There we go. We're playing this smart, gang. I'm doing it. I'm learning from my mistakes. Oh yeah, the hair's on a separate layer. Let's also reduce the hair opacity. There we go. You'll see the method in the madness in just a sec. I want maybe a bit of a sense of movement, like he's spinning around, so I'm gonna kind of like have it just, you know, a little bit in motion. And then I'm gonna go to this hair layer. Erase that. Go to the line art layer. Erase again. Neat. Okay, that's one down. Necklace to go. And in fact, the necklace I think I am just going to do when I do a paint over, because what I can just do is this for each one, and then introduce the red by just doing that on top. So I think I'm going to leave the necklace until I start doing the paint over. However, I do want to do this rope. Because obviously that's such a key part of the design. And then there's like a knotted section up here. Oh no, a moth got in. How did you get in? The windows are closed. Jeez. They just love it here. Maybe I'll like also apply its like, I don't know, like knotted a little bit more. Once again, it's just that classic, if you tie enough, it looks like it works, hopefully. And then there's like a little clasp here. Once again, we're just gonna erase the a little bit more erasing here. You guys can kind of see what I'm going for, and then maybe, in fact, I might even just ease up on these central bits so I can kind of tie the whole thing together in just a sec. So I'm just gonna up this. Okay, that, and then let's crack that back up. Hey, okay. I feel like this maybe needs a little bit more like playing around with the line weight. I think we're basically there with it. And once again, I think when we start like painting on top of the line art, we can define it, make it a bit ropier, you know, feel a bit more textured. That feels good. Cool. I really like how he's turning out. He feels alright. I'm just kind of thickening up a few sections. Just so things feel a bit more defined. I think we're ready to colour, or start colouring. I'm just gonna take a quick drink break, make sure I'm having some drinks, read the chat a little. Someone says we love thematic depth. Oh, thank you, Straylight. I try. I don't always succeed, but I'm trying. It says, I can relate to that theme you talked about. When I did martial arts, I felt a bit inadequate sometimes because I didn't want to go fully competitive. It was just a fun way to get fit for me. Yeah. This character looks so cool in both traits. Yes, Valuable, I agree. It's such a cool design to be able to work from. And I'm so fortunate to have so many talented people who wanted to do fan art. Your Italian pal, my Italian pal, says, I'm still incredibly fascinated by the Dream. Yes, the Dreamers. They're my favourite figures you've introduced so far. And I have one character in mind who's also Ornata and have the golden pigment around the eyes. Ooh, very cool. Yeah, the Dreamers are, they were a very fun one for me. They were like one of the last big lore drops I wanted to do before starting to do the prose stuff. So obviously, if you guys haven't seen it yet, the prologue that I like, the teaser prologue, sorry, I'm adjusting my chair, that I did recently for Wayfarer, which is hopefully going to be the first of several, or certainly a good start, I hope, to just learning more about the setting. I realised that it's that thing of, while I enjoy introducing the lore, I realised that if so much is still intended to be a mystery, because the mystery is always more interesting than the, than the discovery, then I really should be introducing adventures and these individual people and stories from the world, so that people can experience the world with them and the mystery with them. And so that's kind of where that came from, and it's been a little while in the making. And a good friend, Fantasy Forge, the lawkeeper from the Fantasy Forge, was kind enough to offer his amazing voice to that. I got so giddy and excited when he sent those audio clips over. Right, just bear with me. Right, let's just gonna duplicate this one more time. I'm really paranoid about stuff, so sometimes I'll keep like a bunch of backups until I know I definitely don't need them anymore, which I'm aware is probably not the smartest way to do it, but it's how I roll. Right, there we go. And I think it is time to start on colour. So let's get started on colour. I love doing colour, because I already did those swatches a little while back, and I was very pleased with how they turned out. So time for more. I'm going to make sure this isn't on my pressure sensitive one, just so I don't, just so that we know it's full transparency. And once again, I found myself overworking this, and I told myself I'd try and keep it a little loosey-goosey. I'm very pleased with how his face turned out, though. I was really pleased with that. It's a good start. It's a good start, I feel. And I've got this blue background, something that will make the red and stuff pop, but I'm not sure yet. We're going to find out. It's going to be an exciting adventure. So I think I'll start with the beige. Yeah, let's start by just getting base skin tone everywhere, because then I can just alpha lock it, and that's how I prefer to work if I can, because then I don't need to worry about line art for the rest of it. If I did really clean line art, this wouldn't be an issue, but I rarely do clean line art these days. What are you talking about? You have an amazing voice too, very soothing. Oh, thank you. It's so weird. It's very kind of you. I'm so bad when it comes to the sound of my own voice. You'd think I'd be better at it, given how many times I've had to edit my own voice for videos and such, but yeah, it's I don't want anyone to worry that I got the lawkeeper to voice, or asked him if he would voice them because I hated my own voice or something. It was just because he has such gravitas to like his cadence and stuff like that, and it really felt so fitting for not just that prologue, but kind of a lot of the story I have planned. And so it was just such a great chance to work more with him. But yeah, not to worry, I don't hate my voice that much. I think it's maybe even because I don't think it sounds bad, but because it's that classic thing of your voice sounds different to you than it does when it's in like a recording. So it's just that jolt of like, oh my god, that's what my voice sounds like. It's just different from what I expected. Okay. There's our base. I'm just gonna duplicate this in case I mess it up. In fact, let's... yeah. And... oh, alpha lock. There we go. And now we're at my favourite point where I'm just kind of throwing colours down. I love this bit. And once again, I'm not doing like a one-to-one, because the second you start changing the background colour or the, you know, the anything, it will, like all the colours proportionally will just change. So I'm just trying to capture the essence of this and hopefully make it feel like, oh, these could be the same thing. So at the minute, we're just kind of throwing colours down until the colour balance feels right. You know? Like, I think the way I've done the skin here, maybe a richer red, just because of how I did the skin. This is it's a very relaxing bit, but I always worry that it's maybe not as interesting for other people, but it's fascinating to see into my dumb little brain, I suppose. You know, sometimes I have a very clear idea in mind of what I want a colour scheme to be, and obviously I have a great reference here, which is phenomenal. But frequently I will just sit slack-jawed, just throwing colours down until I'm like, yeah, that'll do. I see now maybe why they used a slightly more washed out red, and it's because I think the richness of this is now kind of washing out his skin somewhat. I mean, it's quite a pale blue undertone to the skin, which skins do have different like undertones, like cooler and warmer ones. Some are more yellowy or bluish or reddish or olivey. And then this brown, I think maybe I'll decrease the saturation just a scooch on that. Just because I've picked one that's maybe a little more desaturated over here too. Yeah, see, it looks like that is the same colour, but actually it's totally different, which I think means I might have eyeballed the colour contrast correctly. But no one correct me if I'm wrong, because I'll cry. I'm kidding. It's all good. I don't mind feedback. I always love hearing people's opinions. Like, oh, I really like this one. Because even if I personally don't agree, it's that thing of like, everyone sees colour differently, and so you're like, I just want generally people to like X, Y, Z, or, you know, that sort of thing. I'm also wondering if to vary up the colour a bit, because I also gave this jacket like an extra something, you know, with these lapels. You know what I mean? Like, I'll colour them all the same colour for now, but then maybe I'll make one slightly lighter and one slightly darker or something. So they're still within the range of that original waistcoat colour, but then I've kind of jazzed it up somewhat. Same with all of these. I think once we've got all the colours down, we can make our subtle little tweaks. He's got a real swashbuckling sailor look to him, which I also really enjoy. I've just realised, I just completely forgot about the other half is, I think in my head the waistcoat is like under here, but it doesn't look right now in the cold light of day, so I'm wondering if to like... Oh, wrong one. If to like maybe, just imply that it's there on this bit too. Yeah, something like that I feel then makes a bit more. Okay, let's try that. You see what I'm kind of going for here? Yeah. And then this kind of like nice grey. Maybe a little darker, a little more bluish, just to add a little undertone. It's quite subtle, but I feel like it adds something. And then this is like a darker red at the back, because that's the back of the cloak. And you can see it's starting to come together. I'm also using my fresh sensitive brush now, so that different bits of the undertone are coming through just ever so slightly, and it adds a little bit more variation and texture, and I feel it just makes it feel a little bit more, I don't know if lived in's the right word for it, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Cool, and then maybe like... I just kind of copy pasted sections. I think I'm going to do a little canvas flip, just so I can get a fresh perspective on things. Ooh, in fact, I'm just going to add some more colour variation by just kind of... deleting part of it. There you go. And yeah, maybe a little bit more redness to the jacket. Yeah, that feels good. That ties it together a little better for me anyway. If you see what I mean, just that more reddish undertone. Feels good. I like that. Slightly less desaturated, because then when we add highlights and lighter sections later, those will be a little brighter. There's going to be more color variation. So I'm giving us somewhere to go, you know? Holy shit, Zyro, sorry, sorry for swearing for anyone who doesn't, holy crap, that is so incredibly, kind and sorry, I'm actually a little bit, what? That's so incredibly kind and generous. I don't actually know what to say to that. I'm so grateful. Thank you. Is there anything you would like to, I don't know, plug or shout out or something like that? You know, people helping each other out. If there's anything that you'd like to to mention, then yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it. Much love from me. Wow, I'm a little bit flabbergasted, thank you. Sorry, your Italian pal, talking with Valleyball. People who don't hate the sound of their own voice scare me. I don't know how it's possible, yeah. Amazing. I'm just keeping an eye on the chat real quick to see if Zyra is still there. Are you sure, Zyra? Oh, not really, they say. Okay, well, it's no problem at all, but I do appreciate you. Thank you. Sorry, I'm just also been a little sore throat, so I've got a nice cold brew, fruity cherry tea. So if you hear me slurping at that, I do apologise. I'm just I'm a thirsty gal. Just like the project. Oh, thank you. I'm really glad you do. It's like I've always said, it's not the only thing I ever wanted to do on this channel, because I have so many creative ideas in my big dumb brain. But it's definitely one very close to my heart, and so while I don't always have the motivation to work on it, it's nice to give it the proper love and care, and you know, I'd rather only do the occasional bit about it and have it come from the heart and be genuinely passionate about it than turn it into my job, in the sense of like I must constantly produce content on it. So hopefully you feel the love when I make it. I'm gonna make the metal have a slight blue undertone to it. Is that, I can't tell if that's a bit I didn't quite colour in properly or not, so I'm just, shh, don't tell anyone. There we go. Got these bangles. Ooh, let's start these on a darker metal so I can shade them in a bit. Not a darker metal, you know what I mean, like a darker tone to start. So it's really 50-50. I know this is funny coming from someone who has a project called Golden Bone, but it always seems to be so 50-50 for me on if metal's going to turn out great first try, if I'm going to labour over it for a few hours. There's no telling. I'm assuming this is metal as well, so I'll just give it that slightly bluer bit. And then I did say I was going to try and add some variation here, so I think what I'm going to do is add like a nice dark red sash of some description, just to complement this really nice red cloak that they designed him with. And then I also had like this, you can see I'm just starting to even out some of the colours and stuff. Ooh, misclicked. There you go. Maybe like a lighter brown here. Yeah, this is starting to feel good. I'm feeling good about this. It's got this like very decorative looking rope. Gotta make it just a slightly different shade. So it feels more like a dyed hempen rope type deal. I've just noticed this little, there we go. Kind of see what I'm going for? Yeah. I'm back from passive lurking. Ooh, colours are in. Yes, they are. Welcome back, Straylight. Oh, I can definitely see the love you put into it. Thank you, Zyro. I appreciate it. Right. What I'm doing here is, because I kind of, in my interpretation of this, have like added extra bits or separated bits, I think what I'm going to try and do is like add some variation within these colours, because this is like an attached belt. So we'll have like a slightly darker, redder. You'll see the method in the madness, because I want to tie the colours together. So I'm doing this on a separate layer. Hopefully it'll work, otherwise I'll just look very silly. And then like a richer orangey, maybe not quite that light. Yeah, something like that. And then if I reduce the opacity, hopefully it will just add a very subtle colour variation in there, you know? It's like it's still within the acceptable range, but it just feels just a little different, hopefully. Just enough. And I think I'll probably do the same here with this section. Not sure if to make this bit lighter or darker, but that's why I did it on a separate layer. Because then we can use the colour adjustment tool. I think if it's, I like the lightness, but then when it's too light, it looks like it's part of the shirt, but that doesn't quite work. Maybe if it was like a different colour, like if it was a dark red or something. Oh, the executive producer's here. Hi! What are you doing here? Oh! Guys, we have our friend. Hi! What are you doing? You a good boy? Oh, who's a good boy? Oh, sweetheart. He's very happy. Maybe I'm overthinking this a little, you know? We're gonna get that little fresh perspective we love so much. Let's go. Yeah, something like that. That'll do for now. Just a little bit of colour variation in there just to break it up a little. I like that. That feels good. Let's see here. Just want to really nail down these, what is it? Like base colours before we start moving on to all the little details. This is the slits in the vest, which I thought was a really cool little touch. Adds a bit of dynamism to the whole thing. I really liked that little design choice of theirs. This will probably be darker because it's in like shadow. I've maybe not done that as much justice as I'd like. It's alright, we'll make it work. We'll make it work when we start colouring. Well, we are colouring and rendering a little more. And let's make us a gold layer as well, because it's time for some gold. These are really cool thingies. This nice texture in there. I'm enjoying this. This is fun. I think it's on everything. And let's go a little darker. Because then we can start adding feels weird to render just the gold bit, but I am gonna keep the gold section separate so as to not risk, you know, spoiling it. There you go, like, you know, before we start painting on top of the line art, that feels pretty good. I'm wondering though if maybe the reason that's not fully reading for me is because these would be in more shadow. So maybe these would be a bit more like you know what I mean? Cool. He's starting to feel lived in, you know? Someone said, is there a method to the madness, or better, must there be? Methodless madness is the best way to draw. That is true. I choose to believe that you have an actual executive producer and he's constantly confused about why you talk to him like a cat. Have you considered deep blue for the sash for some extra variance? I had considered it, but my plan is to actually have like a really nice blue background to really contrast the red. So it felt good to just maybe select colours that were already within his colour scheme. In fact, it's probably good practice for me to now, is in like best practice for me to now maybe work with the background so that the colours all pop. And you know what? Because I'm really bad for having way too many layers, you're going to watch me be very brave. I'm going to constantly try and work as much on like one layer or like merge down as much as I can. Going to be very brave and try and treat this more painterly style. if we can't, why is that not? That's better. Just want a hint of it. Just kind of slapping colours down. Why not? Increase the saturation just a little. I'm also wondering if I could cheese this a little bit by... Let's duplicate this to be on the safe side. I'm going to duplicate one and make that like a slightly bluer, desaturated dark one. Bring the contrast down a little. And then maybe play around with some overlay layers. I don't know, we'll see. Sometimes it's not even particularly good, but it gives you, excuse me, like a base to then work from and reference. Like sometimes when I'm a little stuck for how I want to go about something. Just got this little highlighty bit, and then reduce the opacity on that a little bit. I don't know if I like it. Nah, don't like it. There you go. Well, we gave it a go. We gave it a go, and therefore no one can criticize me. Let's just put some more colours down. I did promise myself I wouldn't be too precious. Sometimes there's something quite freeing about forcing yourself to just be quite scrappy with it. little bit of variation to the bottom of the cape. Good, good. Just kind of playing with some values, adding a bit of texture. Also wondering if maybe to add little bits around here just to better imply that these are like cuts in the or slits in the vest. Yeah, that feels good. Maybe just bring this back a little, because it's meant to be a little scruffy, you know. Then we got this nice yellow thread. Oh, I almost forgot. To stick that necklace on top. So let's do that now before we forget. There's a few different sizes there which I like. It implies it's not like fully even. And it's quite high up on his neck actually. It's like here. And I did say I was just going to kind of stick that on top of the line art. Trying to vary it up like they did. And then they're quite a nice vibrant red colour, aren't they? Can always up the contrast on these later. I'm wondering if to reduce the opacity and then go in a second time to kind of better imply their roundness. Maybe. Definitely up them a little more. There you go. Easy does it. Now we have, yeah, with the shade on. There you go. This beautiful, beautiful necklace for him. Gorgeous. Let's get some of these details going. And I actually might start just painting on top of the line art because I'm feeling bold and adventurous and scrappy today. And I just had a virus security update. Good stuff. Actually, let's do the rope first. Actually, yeah. There we are. trying to get that, you know, that whole thing where it's like, if you've got tubing, it's like that. I'm trying to get that going on this. Yeah, you know what, let's just start having some fun with it. I'm gonna label this necklace so I don't forget about it. Just looking at the chat real quick while I have a drink. Got here after the streaming had already begun. It's the character from one of your patrons. So it was part of an art event a while back. It's on the live stream bit on the channel where people designed characters. So Magisa Osuntu, this guy, became canon because he was my favourite of the bunch. They were all so good. I think even favourite of the bunch is a disservice to all of them, but definitely it felt like the most viable in terms of making him canon. Like I could immediately think of ways that he could kind of join. Yeah. Straylight says, I too am guilty of using a great many layers, but heck, it's not like there's a finite amount. That's also true. Is it really a good drawing if there aren't 8,000 layers? That is very, very true. I'm trying to enjoy the scrappier stuff though, where I can, because I like the texture it gives things. So watch me go. I'm going on top of the line art. Don't worry, it's on a separate layer, but it is a layer above the line art. I'm trying to go for like a coppery feel here, and it's not landing. Nah, let's not bother with those. He's got slightly bushier eyebrows, so maybe we can tidy this up a little. Get a little maybe highlight going here. Ooh, a bit lighter than I intended. Oh, that's okay though, we can knock it back a little. See what I mean? Maybe get some like because it's leather, like some colour variation in there a little. And like some blues. Maybe a little bit more shine on the skin like I did up here. Yeah, get a little bit more definition on that arm, methinks. To the collarbone and all of that jazz. I think maybe if we also crank up the colour of this background a little, like maybe just a little bit more rich. Then I might be able to add like a bit of rim lighting, which I think would look really nice. Let's see. It might not look very nice. We're going to find out. It's going to be a fun experiment together. Oh, forgot about the necklace. There we go. Hopefully you can see the vision coming together. I'm just not sure if it's not like thick enough. There you go. His hair would be less reflective than the leather. See what I'm kind of going for? I'm just playing around with it really. I have no specific plans for this piece other than I just want to kind of explore the character a little bit and kind of almost get to know him. So I don't mind if not everything I try works out. Also knock that back a little. Yeah, maybe. That feels like it kind of grounds him in that space a little more. I'm starting to feel really good about this one. In fact, maybe I'll just try really pushing it like... It does feel a lot better there. And we're going to do a little flip. Whee! Just to get a better feel for it. Almost like a halo type deal. Maybe let me get one of my nice textury brushes. I'm just browsing my brushes. Oh, I can't be doing with, so I forgot I needed to clear up all my brush stuff. Just kind of playing around with some background bits and pieces. Yeah, I think definitely try and make him pop a little. Probably won't stick with this, I'll probably play around with levels and stuff, but something in the background just to add a little bit more dynamism. I'm thinking something like even just kind of almost giving him a bit of a halo. And really up that saturation, make him feel very mystical. What is the character's name? Magisa Osuntuyi is his name. It's also in the top left, you can see his name, Magisa Osuntuyi. I'm not sure if you've mentioned if he does his character. He does have powers, so the person who designed him made him so that basically when he cups his fingers and thumb together in like a circle, he can blow out and produce smells. Anywhere from like super noxious to like he could also like throw dogs off his scent and stuff like that, which I thought was just so creative. This is something I like to do sometimes that I feel really adds like interesting levels. Not always, but sometimes. You kind of see where I'm going with it? Like that. Just sampling the colours and then kind of working some in and then working some back out again. I think what I'll probably just do, because I don't want to overwork this, I'm probably going to leave this soon. And then I'll come back to it with maybe fresh eyes. What I am going to do is add some little highlights. Just hopefully pull the piece together, and if I don't like them, I can always get rid of them. Sorry, there's someone pulling their bins, putting their bins out outside, so if you can hear some weird noises, that will be that. Well, let's make that a little bigger. Just adding a few little dribs and drabs that just feel like they bring the piece together a little. I'm not sure if I like it on the nose actually. I'm gonna knock those back a little. It's a little subtler now. And let's see. Maybe add like a see what I mean? Just kind of adding these little shadows to it. And I am, once again, still just continuing to draw directly on top of the line art. And then I think might also be quite fun is just to take some of these areas where, just as an experiment, where I've kind of scribbled in the line art and average out the colour, maybe? You know, like that. We can always turn down the opacity ever so slightly, so that some of that texture still continues to come through. But just to even things out a little. I'm really pleased with how he's looking. He's feeling good. I'm just kind of chipping away at stuff. Get the shape of the face a little bit more softened out. Soften the jawline maybe a little. Because like maybe I went in just a little too strong. This might help just soften the features out a little. I wonder. feeling good. I'm enjoying him so far. Good evening, chat. Noisy neighbours should come to the stream instead and enjoy. Maybe they should come along. Yeah, make it a party. I think I'm gonna leave that there for now. I'm really pleased with how he's shaped up. There's one thing about his face up here that is bugging me enough that I am gonna quickly, which is that it feels a bit wide here. You know, I think I've just been staring at this for too long, is the thing. So I think what I probably need to do is not risk overworking it too much. Yeah. Something just to kind of tide it over. Yeah, let's leave that for now, because otherwise I will start to overwork it and it's gonna be the death of me. I do just want to try colouring the line art ever so slightly, see if that does anything for it. Not really. We'll leave it for now. And maybe I'll call it Flare, so if I ever do work on this again, it doesn't immediately ruin everything. Something's happened there that I'm less keen on. That's better. Is I'm going to add like a bit of a flare maybe. So if I do leave it here, it feels like a kind of finished, homogenized piece maybe. Maybe it doesn't need it. No, it doesn't need it. Well, thank you so much for joining me. This has been so fun. I've really enjoyed getting a chance to work on him. And hopefully when his creator sees it, he will shine through. And they'll know how appreciative I am of his design. I'm gonna hopefully take very good care of him now that he's canon. Just read it in the chat, and then I'm probably winding down now. Obviously I don't like to leave immediately, but I think that's where we're gonna call it. Just making sure I've saved and backed everything up. Because the one time I don't triple check is the one time it comes back to bite me, I guarantee it. First stream I caught actually will join for more. That's amazing, Straylight. It was so good to have you here. Always happy to have folks along. Great, well I'm probably going to call it here, so I will see all of you very, very soon. Take care.